welcome and thank you for joining the live stream webcam of the graduate program in public health of the Mount Sinai School of Medicine. I want to start with introducing myself. My name is Niels Hennig. I'm the director of the graduate program of public health here. I'm also the associate director of the Global Health Center, and I also work as an attending in the pediatric HIV clinic. Before I go into more details of the program, I am here with some of our students from our program, and they will introduce themselves as well.
Hi, my name is Phoebe Priello. I'm a first year in the MPH program, and I will be starting medical school here at Mount Sinai this summer. But before coming here, I did graduate work in art history at Columbia, and then before that, I was an undergrad at Stanford. So I'm coming here with a little bit of a non-traditional background.
Hi, my name is Garnet Mason. I'm a second year student here at the MPH program. Prior to coming to Mount Sinai, I actually did clinical research with a nephrologist for 2 years, and I graduated from Spelman College in 2008, and I will be applying to medical school this year.
Hello everyone, my name is Ibauchi Okorofo, originally from Nigeria. My brief background, I have a medical degree, and I came to Mount Sinai as a portion of my public health degree.
So before we take your questions, let me just give you a very brief background of our program. We are fully accredited by the Council on Education in Public Health. Our program has about 150 students. To graduate from our program, you need 42 credits, and we also have a practicum and a thesis requirement. Our faculty, we have a faculty of about 70, and we recruited from the medical school and from the graduate school here of Mount Sinai. And as you probably know, Mount Sinai School of Medicine is one of the top 20 medical schools in the country. We have a very close relationship with the medical school and also with the Mount Sinai Medical Center here. We also have a very close relationship with the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene here in New York, have a close relationship to various non-governmental organizations and also with various UN organizations here in the city. But probably most importantly, we have a very close relationship to the community that we serve, and it's a very interesting community because the way Mount Sinai is located, we serve the community of the Upper East Side in Manhattan and also the community of East Harlem. And last but not least, our university, our campus is located very nicely on Fifth Avenue, right on Central Park.
Okay, great. So,
and I just, if you want to participate, I just want to let you know an email for your questions. You can send it to explore@mssm.edu. And if anyone would like to view this live stream at a later date, you can go to www.icann.mssm.edu/livestream. And to join the live conversation, please click the join button in the upper right of your computer screen.
so the first question is a general one, and it is, what is unique about the graduate program in public health at Mount Sinai?
That's a very good question. I think what I really want to point out is the really close connection of the school and all the clinical departments here at the medical center. This really gives our students a lot of practicum and research opportunities. We have really the expert in the fields here at Mount Sinai, and the students have a very informal and good access to the faculty to work really on the kind of project they're really interested in, and they can find the expert here at Mount Sinai. But I think I also want the students to look in and talk about their experience.
Yeah, Dr. Hennig, you mentioned the close relationship with the medical school. And what I love is having people in my classes who are MPH students, but also MD MPH students, people in the classes who are attendings or residents and fellows, and to have this great diversity in all of the classes. People bring their own experiences. Many people have lived in other countries or have worked in other countries, and to have that richness of experience has been really invaluable for me. And the faculty have been absolutely outstanding, and maybe you guys want to talk about that more, but they've just been so approachable.
Yeah, I agree with Phoebe. I definitely think for me, What I find to be unique about this program is just how you're exposed to so many different areas in public health, and as Dr. Henning stated, that is because of the diverse faculty and staff as well as the student body. And so for me, just being able to indulge in my interest in, preventive medicine or environmental health, it's just you're exposed to so many different areas in public health. And also with the faculty and staff, as people were saying, they're very encouraging and they're very, very well versed in their areas in public health and in medicine. And I think that that's very, very advantageous for this school and for a public health student.
I definitely agree with my colleagues and our program director. First and foremost, when you want to look for an institution, there are different factors that you have to bear in mind. One of that is accreditation, and the public health program here in Montana is accredited. Secondly, it's a prestigious institution, good reputation. I really am glad to be in Montana right now. Again, diversity. There's nothing like being in an environment where you're welcomed, different people from different origins, and it's really brilliant it's very unique in this institution, I tell you.
Okay. The next question is about the tracks in the program, and it is, can I concentrate in a certain area of public health?
Yes, you can. We have a general public health track, which gives the student a lot of freedom to explore areas that they are interested in. You can choose a lot of electives, and then we have 7 areas of concentration. We have the global health track. As I mentioned, I'm also the Associate Director of the Global Health Center here, so we have a Global Health Center here at Mount Sinai. We are very connected to different international organizations. We have a lot of partner sites, so students can go there, do research, do their practicum there, and graduates from this track, they work for various international organizations. We then have the health promotion and disease prevention track. Students who graduate from this track are also, they work, for example, at the Department of Health here in New York City. Then we have the healthcare management track for people who later go into healthcare management. We have an outcome research track, which really concentrates on research, and actually a good number of graduates from this track, they actually stayed here at Mount Sinai and now work as research coordinators and different research projects going on here at Mount Sinai. We have a biostatistics track, we have an epidemiology track, and we have an occupational and environmental medicine track, and Mount Sinai has a long history of occupational and environmental medicine, as you might know. The important thing is also, I want to point out that each of our tracks has an advisor, and our students, they of course very closely with advisors. They help them on their practicum and their thesis, and also on the employment opportunities later on. But again, I want to also give the students an opportunity to talk about the tracks and probably maybe describe the tracks that they are in.
Okay, as I said earlier on, I'm a medical graduate with my MD, and I'm in occupational and environmental medicine track here in the public health program. And one of the reasons why I chose this track is because disregarding my background as a doctor, but when you think about occupational and environmental health tracks, it helps you recognize the threats within your workplace, within your environment, and this track has helped me to recognize these threats, help me to understand them, and also to get a good understanding and intervention of this threat. It's, again, a very big department here in the country, and they take care of World Health Trade Center victims, and I really appreciate the work that they're doing here in Mount Sinai.
I am in the health promotion disease prevention track, and I chose this track because, as I stated earlier, I did clinical research work for 2 years, and that experience really opened my eyes to the importance of preventive medicine, not just in patient care, but on a community level. And so being in this track has actually not only exposed me to how to think with a mind of prevention, but also is giving me the tools on how to actually execute interventions and execute prevention, not just which will be advantageous when I do go into medicine on a patient level, but on a broader spectrum of a community level, which is why I'm interested in public health in the first place.
I am focusing on the global health track, and I chose it primarily because of the coursework. I looked at the course listing and became very interested in all of the courses that were offered. But I had the opportunity as an undergraduate to study abroad and to study the art and literature of a variety of different countries, but I felt as though I was lacking some really fundamental understanding of the medical issues that these countries were facing, and I wanted, for example, I studied the literature of Senegal and Algeria and Haiti, but I wanted to look at some of these same issues through a different lens, through a global health lens, and the global health track has as Garnett's given me some tools to step back and look at the main public health issues our planet is facing, and to begin to come up with not necessarily my own solutions at this point, but learn to think about these issues and think about how I might contribute later down the line.
Great. So a question about the dual MD MPH program. It's asking you to please speak more about the program and what it offers.
Yes, so as the question tells you, we do have a dual degree program where you can do the MD MPH degree. You have two options if you do that. We have the 4-year option. That means you're going to do your 4 years of medical school, and in the first 2 years of medical school, our students do all the coursework for the MPH. And that does work very well, as the medical school classes finish at 4 p.m. and the MPH classes all start after 4 p.m., so there's no overlap of the classes. So then after the students complete all their MPH coursework in the first 2 years, they have another 2 years to complete their thesis requirement. There's also some overlap, obviously, what students do in medical school and what they learn in the MPH program. So there's a little bit of double dipping. You can get credit for some of the coursework you do in the MPH program at the medical school, and the other way around. You also get some credit for what you do in medical school in the MPH program. And the other option is to do it over 5 years. That means that students take 1 year off, take a scholarly year off, like a leave from medical school. They can do it after every year of medical school. Most of them are doing it after the 2nd or 3rd year, but that's really up to the student. And I just want to point out, we have one advisor whose specialty field is the MD MPH degree, and kind of early on the students will meet with the advisor, and the advisor can kind of advise the student which courses to take. You know, if there are like a lot of very hard courses in medical school, you know, which courses to choose in the MPH program, and the other way around. So we will work with you to be successful. And in general, the MD MPH students are doing very well in our program, and yeah, they are an important part of our program.
Great.
I
Next.
think actually some of our students here are interested in the dual degree. Is this right? Do you want to comment on that?
I'm doing sort of my own spin on the dual degree, which shows how flexible this program is. I'm doing the MPH this year, and then I'm starting medical school this summer. But I was able to, Dr. you mentioned the advising, and I was able to meet with my advisor in late August or early September and figure out a plan to both get my MPH courses done and start on my medical courses after finishing that. So I'm finding the advising very, very helpful.
Okay, next question is about the application process, and it's asking to describe what the process is like.
Well, the application process is really straightforward. We have an online application on Embark. You submit your application. We have a committee who reviews your application. We try to get back to the applicants within a few weeks. And the really unique thing about our program, I want to point out that we have rolling admission. So our students can start in the fall term, our students can start in the spring 1 term, that is January, or in the spring 2 term, that is April, so you can apply year round. And yeah, there's not an application deadline per se.
And anything to offer from the students about the application process and going through it, your experiences?
I actually find the rolling admissions aspect to be a very unique aspect of Mount Sinai, and I found it to be very helpful because I know for myself, I realized maybe early in my last year of doing clinical research that I really was interested in applying to a public health program. And the fact that Mount Sinai, as Dr. Henning says, does have rolling admissions, I think is very advantageous because it understands that, you know, in life people sometimes make career changes or come to certain decisions about what they want to do at different times and different aspects. And to be able to know that there are programs that you can apply to, you know, as soon as maybe you come to these revelations, that I think that's very beneficial and very advantageous and really, I think, makes Mount Sinai shine, I think, as a public health program. So.
And also having the ability to submit either the GRE or the MCAT was really helpful for me.
Yes.
Okay. Another question about if we offer a certificate in public health.
Yes, we do offer a certificate in public health. It is 15 credits and it covers the core areas of public health, epidemiology, biostatistics, health policy, social behavioral health, and occupational and environmental medicine. And we are fully accredited by New York State for the certificate program.
Okay. A question about the global health track. For the global health track, what might a good thesis look like?
Oh, well, our global health track is the strength of our program. As I said, we work closely together with the Global Health Center here. I mean, just this week I was involved in some thesis presentation from the students. One student was involved in one of our partner sites in Tanzania, where they implemented and evaluated a BedNet distribution program, and then they followed up at the prevalence of malaria over the years to measure the success of the program. So that is, for example, one successful thesis. Then we are working together with a lot of different international organizations. And if they have like certain questions, our students can do some research for them, which answers very important questions for them, how they're going to direct their programs in the field. And these projects, they're going to write them up, and they also work as thesis. So I think the most important thing is what we kind of teach our students in the global health track, as in the other track. The most important thing is kind of which project really serves the community, but also make sure they do sound and good research, and that leads to good and also published thesis.
Okay. Next question is, what are ideal GRE scores for consideration?
Well, in general, I want to say that we are not looking for one score. If we look at our applicant, we look at the whole applicant, we look at the whole package. Probably the most important thing is that our candidates are just as passionate about public health as we are. So it's really a whole package. Is kind of what you have done before, what are your passions like, what do you want to do, do you really want to work with the community, do you want to serve the community. And I think that is, in my opinion and in the opinion of the admissions committee, much more important than a single score. Obviously we're going to look at the score and we are a rigid academic program. But I think, especially in a field like public health, the whole approach is much more important than like this one single issue, like the score. But again, I want to give the student a chance to comment on this and their experience here at Mount Sinai at the public health program.
I would agree. I think I definitely, at least I felt from my application process that overall they were looking for, are you passionate in public health? Are you passionate about public health? What areas, based upon your experiences or your future plans, would you want to pursue in public health? And I think that is the mark of a school and a program that really is looking for individuals with whom can make an indelible mark in the field of public health. When you look for the stock of a person and instead of just maybe looking at numbers and essays, which of course is important because it is part of seeing the whole package, but having that sort of notion of just wanting to see the person as a whole and how well that they will be a great professional in public health. I think that's what made the application process for me a little bit more comfortable, I feel.
Yeah, it's whether or not you're a good fit for Sinai,
Exactly.
whether you have that passion for public health.
Exactly.
And
Again, it's a prestigious school, so you don't expect to get like 20 a score and expect to be admitted in Sinai. So definitely you have to get a good score, and as my colleagues have said and the director have said, it's not just only about the score, about every other thing, your personal statement, your curriculum vitae, your recommendations, so everything is put into place. Because again, you have to get a good score to get into any prestigious school, especially Mount Sinai.
Okay. Next question coming in is, could you speak to the practicum experience in the global health track? Do you help students find locations?
Yes, we do. In the global health track, actually, we have different partner sites. I think this summer alone, we sent about, from the public health program and from the medical school, we sent students together. We sent about 45 students to about 20 partner sites, and we have a couple of flagship sites. And our partner sites are in the Caribbean region, in South America, in Africa, in Asia, and also global health is also, the US is part of the globe. We also have sites in the US, for example, Indian reservations, and also have a clinic for survivors of tortures where our students can do their practicum, and in our community here, especially in East Harlem.
And there's a follow-up to that question. How long is the practicum experience?
Well, our practicum requirement in general is 150 hours. If you were in the global health track and you go to one of our partner sites, we actually ask you to go a longer time, usually about 8 weeks or 4 weeks, depending on your availability. But if you go abroad, you just need a certain amount of time to get adjusted, and that's why probably for the global health track, the practicum will be longer than for some of the other tracks.
Okay, and now a question for the students. What is student life like at Sinai, and what is it like to live in New York City?
Well, being a foreigner and being international, coming to New York State, then specifically New York City, it's like, wow, I'm in New York City. The city of yellow cabs, the city of lights, the city that never sleeps. Believe me, it's fun being in New York City. Again, Mount Sinai is located by Central Park. It's a serene environment, good for studies, and you have to mix both studies, and you can't just read. You also have to relax. So you can't get it wrong in New York City.
I'll actually start by answering the student life question. I definitely think, as I think Phoebe has stated already, that because the MPH program is also sort of in conjunction with the overall medical student body and the overall overarching graduate student body, a lot of social activities, events, will be in conjunction with the medical students and with the other doctoral students and graduate students. So for instance, for student council, there's an MPH representative for the first years as well as the second years, and they're in charge of making sure that they're the liaison between what's going on with student council, as well as creating events just for the MPH students, so that's very advantageous. There's actually a community fair going on this weekend that I know that I'm participating in as a public health student, so you really find that it's a community of the students of Mount Sinai School of Medicine, whether it's doctoral, master's, or medical. And I think that that's very advantageous because you get to really be in the presence of people of other fields. In terms of living in New York, I'm actually a New Yorker, so I think that New York is an excellent place to live as well as to, I think, have an educational experience because they're so diverse. You have Harlem, you have the Upper East Side, you have Lower Manhattan, and there's always something to do and there's always new experiences for you to have. So I think it's a very rich city and state to have your educational experience here. So.
And to build on something that you said, Garnett, I have really enjoyed taking advantage of the activities that are offered here. For example, there is a medical Spanish lunch every Friday, and I try to attend that. There's also an elective called the Art of Anatomy, where a live model is brought in, and then you have people from all different parts of the Sinai community coming in to sketch that model. And of course, as you mentioned, there are social events, and then Alex, you were talking about Central Park. What I think is really wonderful is that you can study in the library here and look out over Central Park, and you can't say that about a lot of places.
No, you can't.
Okay. We have a question about how flexible are the classes for those students who work?
Well, as I said earlier, most or all of our classes actually start after 4 p.m. So the program is designed for people who work. So most of the classes are between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. in the afternoon. A lot of our faculty, they work as physicians or they work as public health professionals here at Mount Sinai or for the Department of Health, and they also have jobs. So they are very open to work together with our students to make it possible. We have, for example, medical residents in our program who have clinical duties, and sometimes it is difficult for them to attend a class at 4 p.m. But we are used to work with them, and again, we are all in this together, and we really want to make sure that our students have the best experience, so we are very flexible to accommodate our students. Obviously, they still have to do the coursework, and we make sure that maybe we give them some extra assignments to make up for any class time that they miss. But in general, we are all working professionals, and we know the time constraints that can come with a full-time job.
Okay, a question for the students. Are you working full or part-time at all while taking classes? If not, do you know students that are working and are still able to balance coursework?
I am not working full or part-time, but what I'm trying to do is complete the MPH degree this year, and so I've been doing the practicum and I'm starting work on the thesis during the day. As Dr. Hennig mentioned, the classes are wonderfully placed in the afternoon, so you really have that day to do whatever you need to do, whether it's conduct research or work on your practicum or work. So that's been really helpful for me to get this degree done.
Again, it's flexible, as my director and my colleague has said. I have friends. Me personally, I'm not working, I'm a full-time student, and I was able to compress the 2-year program into 1 year, and I should be graduating this June. And my friends that are working, it's also flexible for them because immediately after maybe clinical rounds and all that, they come here and have their lectures, and they've been able to do it. It's flexible enough.
I agree. I'm also a full-time student, but I do have classmates with whom are working full-time as well as part-time. And again, the program, as Phoebe and Alex have said, it's extremely flexible, and they're able to complete their coursework and do so successfully. So it's definitely feasible and possible. So.
And also UTA for our epidemiology classes.
Yes. That's it.
Okay, another question just in. Is there a career services department that helps with job placements after completion of the degree?
We do not have a career service department, but we work very closely together with the Human Resources Department here at Mount Sinai, who help the students to get jobs with their job openings within Mount Sinai, who help students with their CV and to prepare them for interviews. And then, as I mentioned earlier, every track has a specialty track advisor, and right from the beginning, the advisors, they work with the students to prepare them for the job market once they have completed the degree. And in addition to this, we have regular career nights where different organizations that hire public health graduates come in and talk about their organization and about the opportunities there. And we also have an alumni network who also come in and advise our students on future job placements.
Okay. A question about the time of how long it takes to complete the degree. What is the average time to complete the degree, and can I complete the degree in 1 year?
So usually the degree is laid out to complete it in over 2 years. There is an option that you can actually do the degree in 1 year. You have to do obviously some more coursework, and in a moment, I think the students can comment on this as well. And obviously then we have also students who, as was in the questions before, who have full-time jobs. And some of them, they do the degree over 3 or 4 years, and that is also totally fine with the program. But I want to give the students a chance to comment on the 1 year option.
It's completely manageable to do the courses in 1 year. I mean, they're rigorous courses, but it is totally possible, and that's what I'm doing, that's what Alex is doing.
that's what I've done. So it's actually possible to be able to accelerate the program, provided you have the time to do that and you balance things with both your educational life, your social life. You should be able to do it also.
I'm actually doing the program in 2 years, but I've completed most of my coursework in the first year, so that's just, I agree, it's absolutely doable, 100%.
Okay. Next question. What is the best resource to find out about related seminars, conferences, or other events hosted at Sinai? Any venues to meet students or faculty in person?
Very complex question. The best way to find out, I mean, if there are specific questions about our program and what is going on in our program, you can email us directly. The email address is public health, one word, public health @mssm.edu. You can check our website where we have informed about upcoming conferences. I can announce that just on April 19th we have our Global Health Conference that the Graduate Program in Public Health and the Global Health Center are putting up together. But probably the best way is really to check our website and to email the program directly. And on our website there are also the email addresses and the phone numbers of our specialty track advisors. I would recommend every student interested in our program and especially interested in the specialty tracks can contact the track advisors directly, and they are happy to give further information about the specialty tracks as well.
Okay. Question again for the students. How did you each decide that Mount Sinai was the right place for you?
I started volunteering here a couple of years ago before I was officially a student here, and I got involved with the program Visiting Doctors. It's a program in which Mount Sinai physicians pay home visits to elderly patients who are homebound, have difficulty getting out of the house for some reason or another. And I just fell in love with the people. I had a chance to meet a lot of people through that program, people who had done an MPH here, people who were med students here. And I just fell in love with Sinai from that experience, and I'm actually using the experience I had in Visiting Doctors to, as part of the material for my thesis. I'm looking at why people die in the hospital, why people die at home, and I'm using data from Visiting Doctors. So it was really this one experience that made me realize that this place is a community, it's a home, and that's what drew me here.
For me, I would definitely say it's the reputation of Mount Sinai, and as well as, again, the rolling admissions. And then I did a lot of research on the actual Mount Sinai website and the website for the public health program. And again, I really took to the diversity and the different areas of public health that you could discover and that you're exposed to. And I definitely, once I learned that there was a health promotion disease prevention track, I was basically set. And so I was like, this is absolutely going to be the school for me. And then when I got here for orientation, everything, it just sort of made my decision concrete, and that I knew that this definitely was the place that I'm supposed to be to acquire my public health education. So.
In addition to what they've said, right, they've mentioned reputation is prestigious, diversity. So these are factors that you should think when you talk about Mount Sinai: reputation, diversity, accreditation, assistance. There's nothing like being in an environment where you're acceptable, you know, like during my application process, just calling the institution alone was like comfortable for me. They'll tell you every details you want to hear, and believe me, Mount Sinai, it's brilliant. With top scholars again, you know, there's nothing like meeting people that have participated in vaccine researches and, you know, a lot of stuff's going on here. You never get it wrong with Mount Sinai.
Okay. How do students contribute to outreach and public services activities at Mount Sinai?
I think I will hand this question again.
Let me start with that. Yeah, let me start with that because I have this routine when I wake up. I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is check my email. Once you go to your email, believe me, your day is already occupied. Different thing, volunteers to the community, seminars in this institution, so many things going on, ground rounds, different activities. So the students are actually part of the institution. It's a one family, you know, they integrate the students in every activity that goes on here.
I would just make one little comment. I think again, and Dr. Henning mentioned it, the fact that we're located in a very special and unique place in New York, that we are right adjacent to East Harlem, and that is a very large community that we do serve. So there's always an opportunity to utilize and execute what we learn in public health to serve the community. And so there's always, again, the community health fair that I was stating, and Alex was saying how when you check your email, there's always like a plethora of some sort of seminars or events that, you know, happening on campus. So there's always going to be an opportunity to give back. The medical school, they have a myriad of events that are always happening with the things that they're doing, and they always welcome public health students. So there's always a way to make sure that you're integral in the community.
Okay. We got a couple last few questions in before we reach the end of our time. One of those questions is there a graduate student organization?
Yes, we do have a student council, and the public health program has 2 student representatives on the student council of Mount Sinai.
Okay. A question about how affordable it is to live in New York City. Students, what would you say about that?
I've lived in New York City since coming back from college. I've been here since 2007. And I've moved around a couple of times. I was up by Columbia, and then I recently moved to the east side. It's totally possible to find affordable housing options, and even near Sinai. And what I should also mention is that Sinai is right next to the M3, M4 bus, and 1 and 2, and then also you have the subway. So wherever you live, you can get to Sinai easily. And I've used Craigslist, I've used the New York Times real estate section, and you can type in your price range and find a broker, and it's totally doable. It's possible to find good housing here.
Again, being a foreigner, someone international coming in, it's possible because, as you said, you need a broker, you go online, you even see apartments that you have rooms to share, and you don't get it around in New York City. Even if you have to pay extra to just, see Times Square every day, you do that.
Let me just use this question to address a question that was not asked, because I'm surprised was not asked yet. So I just want to talk about the costs for the program. So you pay per credit for our program, and 1 credit is $850. As I said, we have 42 credits, so that comes out to approximately $36,000 for the MPH degree.
All right, great. Another question asking for you all to talk a little bit more about the research opportunities that are available to students.
Okay. This actually will allow me to elaborate more on one of my favorite parts of the program, and that's the faculty and the staff. I went to Spelman College, and what I loved about Spelman was that it was a very nurturing and challenging environment, and the faculty and staff were very much so instilled in the well-being of the students and making sure that we had as many opportunities as possible. That same idea and characteristics applies here at Mount Sinai. And so for my practicum work, so I'm completing practicum work with the study that's happening in the preventive medicine department, and that's also where my thesis is coming from. My track advisor got in connection with a member of the preventive medicine department, and then they emailed everyone from the Department of Education to other faculty and staff at Mount Sinai until I finally found this practicum and thesis opportunity. So having faculty and staff that really are excited to help you and want to use their expertise and their prowess in their areas to offer you as many opportunities as possible to get as much research experience, whether it's something that for your practicum or just research that you want to do on your own. It's right there at your disposal, and I think that that's an excellent and exquisite characteristic about Mount Sinai. So research and any opportunities, it's right there. There's nothing to worry about. You'll get it. It's fine.
And to add to that, it's never, go write some thesis that nobody's going to ever read. It's always, we're going to help you find a project or come to us with an idea that you're really passionate about. You're going to contribute this. That was always my track advisor, my thesis advisor said to me, find something that is relevant, find something that you would like to try to present somewhere, find something that you'd like to try to publish. There's always this bigger it's bigger ambition.
Yeah.
So in addition to all what they've said, there are a lot of opportunities being in occupational environmental health. The department works with World Trade Center, works with the fire departments of New York State, New York City, health department, so, and almost unlimited opportunities for research.
So we're reaching the end of our time, and if we'd like to have some closing comments for everyone.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for tuning in today and for your interest in the graduate program in public health here at Mount Sinai. And I just wanted to point out again that I think starting with the students up to the director here, we're very passionate about public health and very passionate about our community. Here at Mount Sinai we have an excellent faculty and really a very unique closeness of the medical school, of the graduate school, and of the medical center. So it's a very exciting environment for public health. And yeah, we would really look forward to hear more from you. I know this event is very short, but you know, you have an opportunity to follow up. If you have any questions, you should just email our program. I'm going to say the email once more. It is publichealth@mssm.edu, and yeah, I just welcome you to have a closer look at our program. And again, I hope the students are going to give them the opportunity to share their final thoughts as well.
Yeah. Well, there's something about Mount Sinai that I can't really put my finger on. I feel at home here, and I've spent time at a couple of other places, and I know that this is a rare feeling. I think it has in large part is due to the faculty, who are not only extremely intelligent and accomplished and encouraging, but are also warm and nurturing. This is a word that's come up, nurturing and caring, and want to help you succeed and want to help you accomplish your goals. That's really been fabulous. And also to have the opportunity to live in New York City, one of the most culturally rich, most diverse cities in the world, that's just a huge privilege.
I would definitely say that if you want a program that will engage you on a deep level in all the different aspects in the entirety of public health with a very loving, nurturing, as Phoebe stated, environment with faculty and staff that are there to make sure that you grow and are successful, not only as a student, but will mold you into a public health professional that will actually make change in the world, this is the program for you. And of course, being in New York is just the cherry on top. So.
Again, thanks also for your undivided attention. Being a clinician, I was exposed to just only treat one patient at a time. But again, you have to be passionate about public health and think of how can we change this immediate environment? How can we change this world? And being here has taught me all these. That's equipped me with excellent expertise to change the world as a whole.
And just one more mention that this live stream webcast will be reposted at the same address. So if you want to rewatch it and submit more questions, you can do it in that way as well.
Again, thank you very much for tuning in, and we're looking forward to hear from you.